Connectivity is a critical aspect that requires urgent intervention and reform in order to ensure the credibility of technology in electoral processes. And one of the areas that I would want maybe if ELOG and other partners, we can push about is on the use of Universal Service Fund for those areas that lack connectivity, for those areas that where service providers do not see economic sense in investing in any infrastructure. So is it possible then to push for USF to be used to ensure that there's connectivity and to ensure that at least we will have a genuine, an electoral process that utilizes technology effectively. Now, I talked about the KIMS, and so what we actually saw is that the devices utilized in that process have a critical role in the credibility and effectiveness of elections. And so it's critical for those gadgets to be reliable. And so what needs to be in place is that the training of those handling them and those supervising the process needs to be done early enough, because when you spoke to those guys, they would tell you they only had like the training 3 days before the election. So they didn't have time to master or even, try and play around with that, with the gadgets in a way that they felt they were efficient in handling them. So again, that raises the issue of capacity building for those clerks, but there's also the issue of capacity building for litigants who prosecute technology-based electoral issues. There was actually a visible challenge for litigants in prosecuting technology issues, and I think there needs to actually need capacity building for both litigants and jurists to actually improve the litigatory depth of technology-based elections. So in terms of moving, I just need to stop now, but in terms of moving forward, so one of the things we are saying is that there needs to be that capacity building for the clerks, for those litigating. And then in terms of user experience, in terms of software and devices used, there needs to be awareness creation, because people walked into polling stations. Actually, they didn't know what was going to happen. And as they queued, they would be told, weka kidole hapa, press ingine hapa. So there needs to be that. Then, of course, the need to ensure that there is connectivity in polling stations and backup of that connectivity. So be it that what attendant activities need to ensure that there is that connectivity, and of course voter education on the role of technology in the electoral process. And finally, I want to just say that the issue of data protection, we now have a framework. So we need to be very clear in terms of data minimization and how technology is going to be used to actually harness people's data and just ensure that that data, is it safe? Is it secure? How is it going to be used? This is actually a new area